Well, I guess we're going to talk about the Masters Universe movie again. Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning right now, so I have to be a little bit quiet. Yeah, we just saw something's just been posted that I think it's about time I talked about it because I've been kind of a little bit quiet about for a little bit, and I'm going to bring the mic a little bit closer because I do have to talk a little bit quieter. Yeah, for the most part, something just came across my desk, which um, basically I'm I'm not really in shock about. I mean, I've been talking about it a little bit here and there, and let's just jump into it, guys. Um, Not even a week ago, I talked about how the Master Universe movie is starting to shape up, and they picked the movie cast. It's developing as we speak, and apparently, principal photography has actually started. And this is something which I've been critical about this. I really have been critical about this. Definitely check out the Master Universe 2026 movie cast and why we had to talk about it. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can see what exactly my feelings are towards this cast and the new direction. But today, thanks to our good friend over at Colt over at Dad at Arms, he posted this, which was courtesy of our good friend Yuka, Toon Yuka, on Facebook and Instagram, and even on his page on Facebook. Yeah, this is crazy. Apparently, Nicholas Galitzine, who I've been pronouncing his name wrong for like quite a bit, and I have to apologize for that. Um, he was arrested for playing Prince Adam. And badly apparently. No, I'm just kidding. These photos were leaked from apparently on set of the Master Universe film that's supposed to be airing in 2026, and it appears, at least from these photos, to show Prince Adam being arrested for, I guess, possessing a sword or maybe swinging around a sword. And I, I just had to talk about this because I'll be honest with you. Um, Before I actually say that, let's go ahead and I'm jumping ahead here. This is going to be very off the cuff, guys. This is going to be really, really off the cuff. Colt here, our good friend, Dad at Arms, he literally has summarized this pretty much exactly as it should be. Filming has begun. The first set photos of Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam, complete with pink shirt and power sword. That sword looks amazing. NLG, thanks to Tunyuka for the heads up. And of course, we should give a heads up to Tunyuka, good friend of the channel, who is the one who posted these photos here. And I was blown away. I was literally blown away. I didn't know that they were already starting with principal photography. There were so many things happening, which I didn't know were already in the works. And this is something where they are obviously well into the first weeks of shooting. So surprising, very, very surprising. Um, Not to jump all over the place, but I did want to say that other announcements have been made in recent weeks. As a matter of fact, last week we found out that Deadpool star Morena Baccarin, of course, who played Deadpool's love interest, she was also pivotal in multiple shows, like I believe she was in Battlestar Galactica. She was also in Stargate Atlantis, and of course, she was in Firefly. There's a lot of actors now climbing on board. As a matter of fact, we found out that according to GeekCulture.com, on their post on Facebook, the movie cast has expanded quite a bit. I mean, we of course knew about Nicholas, Jared Leto, which we talked about in the casting choices, in my last video, Camila Mendez, Alison Brie, now Morena, and now uh, Johannes Hakur Johannesson is going to be playing Fisto, apparently. Uh, Again, the casting is definitely not something which I'm totally worried about. My biggest concerns have always been mostly around the story, and I think that that really is, top of mind for me. I spoke about Idris Elba, and of course, what I think about for Man at Arms, and Goat Man. I mean, come on, we're the Mountain Thor playing Goat Man. I mean, I don't know. There's something about the characters that are they're being portrayed here. I'm not sure if that's a bait and switch. I mean, it possibly could be. Why would you have Goatman instead of um, you know Beastman? It just seems like a very strange set of circumstances. So the story really seems to be top of mind for me. It really does. But initially, when I first heard that Nicholas was going to be playing He-Man, much of my criticisms, I guess criticisms isn't the thing, but I did mention, he seems a bit small. I don't know if he's going to be able to bulk up enough to, take on the role of He-Man. Well, that was actually kind of addressed with this photo here. And some of the additional photos which were posted throughout the year last year, where we can see here that Goatman, He-Man, and Tila, they're in the gym and they're getting ready. This was, of course, courtesy of Legacy of the Nerd on Facebook. If you guys definitely want to check that out. And yeah, I can't pronounce his name. Halvor Julius Bjornsson. I think that's I'm butchering that name. Camila Mendez, and of course Nicholas Galitzine. And again, they're in the gym. They're getting ready. So yeah, apparently things are moving forward. And according to Master Universe, this article titled "Master Universe Set Photos Revealed Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam," again referencing these photos which Yuka and Colt posted on Dad at Arms and Toon Yuka, respectively. It goes on to say that set photos leaked on the social media have provided the first glimpse of Amazon MGM Studios' Master Universe adaptation, capturing Galitzine as Prince Adam in striking modern day scenes. The images shared through Demois Instagram account shows Galitzine wearing a pink shirt while being arrested by police officers after they discover him with a power sword. This contemporary Earth setting marks a dramatic reimagining of the He-Man's origin story, as Prince Adam has traditionally been portrayed as the heir to Eternity's throne, who transforms into the legendary warrior He-Man. The scene aligns with the film's official synopsis, which reveals that young Prince Adam crash lands on Earth, becoming separated from Power Sword for 2 decades before reclaiming it as his destiny as Earth's champion. So, this, of course, is one of my main concerns about the film. The fact that, I mean, we can see right here, Prince Adam, who I just can't get over it. He's wearing a pink shirt for crying out loud. I mean, is that literally part of his overall character that he wears pink all the time? I mean, that is a true callback to Filmation. But at the same time, was it necessary? Right? Um, I know that these are leaked photos, right? Supposedly anyway. But it- this is what I'm trying to say. Like the identity of this film is something that the even Galitzine himself said that this is going to be a different film from the campiness of the Filmation version. Is it though? I mean, is it really that far of a departure? They're leaning on some of the tropes that are you know, based on the Filmation He-Man. You know what I mean? Like Master of the Universe. He's wearing a pink shirt. That is quintessential Adam. Um, but getting back to it, it goes on to say that the production, which enters principal photography in the next coming weeks, apparently not. Apparently, it's already in principal photography. I mean, that's what these are, accordingly, unless these are some sort of social media um, early photos. I mean, it's hard for me to read into anything less because, according to them, principal photography is coming in the next few weeks. That's not what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the principal photography is already underway, according to this. So, what's actually really happening here? Assembles an impressive roster of talent under director Travis Knight. And this is a quote: "We started prepping in November last year. Filming starts, I think, in about a week or so." Um, no, filming apparently has already started. Um, so yeah, I'm curious about all these quotes, where they're coming from, and what exactly is happening here. Cast member Johannes Hakur Johannesson, again, I'm butchering that name, being obviously coy about when shooting really starts. So I think this was a quote by Thor there, the mountain, about when shooting really starts. Given that we already have set photos. uh, Up until now, it's been a lot of weightlifting and rehearsing, but we've got a really fun script, and everyone in the cast loves it. Johannesson added that the Master Universe cast also features Idris Elba, Man at Arms, Camila Mendes as Tila, Jared Leto as Skeletor, and Alison Brie as Evelyn. Um, yeah, so I really am questioning the timing of this. Seriously, I'm questioning the timing of these photos. I'm questioning a great number of things. Because on one hand, it says that principal photography will begin in a couple weeks. On the other hand, we already have photos of Nicholas on set being arrested. I'm really kind of perplexed. I don't know what to think about this. But that all aside for a minute. That all aside for a minute. Let's go back and examine a few things. I mean, so we have these photos. And again, one more time, I want to give a huge shout out to Toon Yuka on Facebook and Instagram, and of course, Dad at Arms Cult. Definitely, guys, give them a like and a follow. They are doing amazing work, and of course, uh, I woke up this morning and there it is. This is what they're talking about, and they're bringing this to us directly. So definitely give both of these guys. They deserve more credit than I can give them. So guys, definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them Jay sent you. Um, yeah, these photos, of course, came from Dumois on Instagram, and huge shout out to Dumois. Thank you so much for posting these photos. Um, and yeah, I mean, they say that they want to separate themselves from the original version of the Master Universe and make their own story, right? Make their own tale. But this is the meme. Like, this is a meme, right? Like Prince Adam wears a pink shirt. Prince Adam is, buff, but he's weak, right? There's so many things going on here that point directly at the original Master Universe. Can they truly separate themselves from that? I mean, is that what's happening here? And say what you will about the original Masters Universe film, right? Say what you will about it, and whether you hate it, whether you regret that it was ever made, whether that Orko was not even in the film. But the reality is that um, that Jeffrey Goddard, right? He tried his best. Gary Goddard. Gary Goddard tried his best to put some sort of new spin on Master Universe there. Um, he really did try something different, right? Um, you know, we saw the He-Man was more akin to the original roots of He-Man, if you will. The true fantasy roots from the mini comics. At least that's how I felt. I felt that that's the direction that they were going with in the original '87 film. We didn't talk about the king and queen of Eternia. We didn't talk about any of that type of struggles. We literally focused in on Skeletor, He-Man, and the fact that Prince, uh, Castle Grayskull was under siege. Right, that was the big crux of the film, and unfortunately, just like most films, it relied on the idea that they had to go back to Earth to give that human connection to kids. And I have a hard time separating that idea from what apparently is not supposed to be, relying on the original He-Man mythos. That doesn't seem to be the case here. I mean, this is 100% Filmation Adam. He's wearing a pink shirt for crying out loud. He's pretending to be weak. You know what I mean? But he's obviously like the guy's massive. The guy's ridiculously massive. Um, and taking a look at this, the one thing that to take away from this is that the kid's on Earth. The kid is on Earth, and that's really the biggest concern I have for the film. The fact that they really are relying on the Earth connection again. It really is one of these situations where the it's clear to me that Mattel is looking for a new audience to bring Master Universe to, right? A new generation of people, right? Whether they be younger, older, um, families, right? And this film is now, especially with these photos, I am concerned about the direction of this film. Now, obviously, Travis Knight, having directed Bumblebee, which was a love letter to the fans. Truly, it really was. I really enjoyed Bumblebee, as it really showcased the Transformers the way I was hoping that they would be portrayed. My hat's tipped off to him. He understands, the '80s and the '90s and what the fans were hoping for. And I'm wondering if that's more of the same here. I'm wondering if he is trying to tip his hat to the fans who grew up with Master Universe and at the same time trying to introduce new fans, which would be great. It would be. My main problem is still going to be the Earth connection. Like Eternia is a place of fantasy. It's a place where you know gigantic freaking green tigers exist. You know what I mean? Magic is entwined with technology. The true crux of science fiction. you know, uh, Demons exist with humans and are trying to get a foothold on the sorry, not humans, I guess humanoids, right? And they're trying to take the power of the universe for themselves. It is a fantastic world. Why does it have to be rooted in what is with the earth connection? I just Wouldn't it have been enough to say that Marlena was a Terran and came from Earth and was sucked into a wormhole and ended up on Eternia, birthing a son who had a destiny? Isn't that enough? Apparently not. Apparently, we need a grounded piece. Like sending him back to Earth. Sorry, not back to Earth. He's sending him to Earth for his own protection. It is just a confusing situation, and highlighting these uh, leaked photos, the timing of it all is just fascinating to me. It really is. And I just, in many ways, I don't know what to think. I just don't know how to take this. Um, I think I will say though, I am optimistic. I think that that's really where I'm really gonna take this. I am optimistic. I mean, the set photos look cool. Obviously, there's a story here. There definitely is a story. Um, Prince Adam here, obviously, he's trying to explain to these officers why he has a sword. You know what I mean? Like that seems to be the obvious thing. Why does Prince Adam have a sword? Why they're arresting him, I don't know. Like in today's world, owning swords as props or whatever, collectibles, right? I mean, for crying out loud, we are, collecting everything these days, like swords, toys. Some people collect guns, right? And then obviously he's being arrested for a reason. I don't know. Maybe somebody reported him. It's kind of weird in this day and age, but yeah, it's just one of these things. I'm perplexed as to what kind of story we're going to end up with. Um, but I am optimistic. I am a Masters Universe fan. I love this stuff, and of course, I am one of the people championing the original Master Universe 1987 film. So if I can love that as much as I do, I there's room in my heart to definitely try and love something of this nature. And of course, the first film leaned heavily on the idea of an Earth connection. So why not this one? Um, it's fascinating to me, as always, as I've always maintained ever since I made the first report on this. Why it's just something in my head. Why would a kid who apparently came to Earth when he was like 10 years old or whatever it was, maybe even younger, seek out his destiny 10 years later and get reunited with his sword? Like, yeah, like the writing has to be on point on this one because the synopsis just makes very little sense to me. So I really have to see what's going on here and find out just how they're going to put this together. What is going to happen in this story? And it does fascinate me. Um, And taking a little bit of a geek moment here, let's take a look at the sword. I mean, why not, right? This is you knew that we all knew this was going to come here, right? So let's take a look at this sword. I have a couple of things to talk about here. I'm not going to gush completely. I just, even though I am going to gush a little bit, but let's have a look at the sword. I mean, this is pretty crazy. So one of the officers actually confiscates the sword of power, and she has it here. She doesn't. She's holding it in a certain manner. The thing is gigantic. I mean, like, she's not the tallest person in the world, obviously, but I mean, this sword, it is pretty big. I love the this particular candid shot, and I'm gonna keep referring it to it. I'm gonna keep referring to it as that, because it's interesting to me that these are set photos, but at the same time, I don't see any actual cameras anywhere, um, or markers or anything like that. But again, conspiracy theories aside, let's just take a look at what we see right on screen. I do actually like the way the sword looks. The weathering is very nice. The prop itself looks very good for something on screen. But did you notice something interesting? Once again, this is leaning on filmation. This is leaning on filmation heavily. This does not look like a Masters of the Universe toy sword. That was modeled after the toy. The original Master of the Universe sword is incredibly different if you actually break it down. Multiple iterations of the power sword have been made, but this one really is much more patterned after the Filmation cartoon sword. It's thinner than it was portrayed in the toy swords, from the original Master Universe toys. It is very much in the design that was created for the Filmation cartoon. The sleek nature here, the two little, um, uh, I guess, indents on the left and the right. This is so much reminiscent of the Filmation sword. There are little nods, though. We can see some runes embedded in the hilt of the sword. Um, we see almost like a bony nature here, kind of harkening to Castle Grayskull, perhaps. Right? Those are wonderful new design details that we've never seen before. Even swords which were developed for by Mondo or other designs throughout the years, they don't exactly look like this. This is a brand new take on the Master Sword, on the Sword of Power, and I love it. I actually really do appreciate it. One thing I do have to say is the wrapping. It's not too convincing. If not that this is supposed to be greatly realistic or anything like that, but this wrapping is more fantasy wrapping than anything else, which I sort of appreciate. But at the same time, if you're somebody who's going to be wielding a sword, this wrapping is not the way you want it to be wrapped. Your hands would chafe very quickly by the way this is haphazardly wrapped, and that's just something I wanted to point out because the wrapping looks a little bit loose. It doesn't look like it's something you should be using or holding realistically, because this is more of a display wrapping than it is an actual wrapping for a real sword, in my opinion, anyway. And it doesn't even look like it's been used. It looks like it's been weathered. Um, aside from those, observations of mine, I do love the sword. I love the way it looks, and it's not something which is thin either, which is what a lot of people's main criticism of the power sword in Filmation's iteration has always been. In many cases, it's actually pretty. This looks pretty dang thick. I mean, you see this officer holding it here, and it is thick. That is a thick sword. We'll just take a quick look at it closer on this end. I mean, if we zoom in on this right now, um, that is a thick sword. I mean, the on the base and the hilt, it's rather that must be one heavy sword. This officer must be having a bit of a time holding onto it. So I think that it is true. Someone like Prince Adam, who needs to be, a little bit more tone and able to wield this sword, uh, because this is you will get tired um, swinging this sword around for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to take some time and react to these because this is the first time we're actually seeing some real evidence that this movie's actually going to be made. Because I've maintained quite regularly the fact that I will believe it when I see it. That because I was in very much a lot of doubt that this movie was ever going to get made. Announcements are announcements, and we've seen announcements all the time. We've heard announcements all the time, and it's just one of those things where I've been told so many times, multiple times over, that we're gonna get a Master Universe movie. We're gonna get something really soon. Like this guy's been signed. This guy's been signed. This cast has started. It's gonna start principal photography in the next couple of weeks. It's like, yeah, whatever, man. I am no longer, I'm pretty much resigned to the fact that I have been pretty much resigned to the fact that I can't believe anybody anymore. I can't. The Hollywood machine is what it is, and it's gonna act the way it acts. But these photos, such as they are, again, I'm not exactly sure what to think about these photos. You know, uh, Overall, I mean, we're seeing these as photos taken by someone on set, someone across the street. Like who's taking these photos? And then I start to think, where are the cameras? You know what I mean? Sometimes you look at these and like, okay, there's a camera. There's a director. There's somebody else. But these photos are interesting. That they're candid. Sure, they're candid. But at the same time, they look almost convenient. I don't know. That's another bit of a conspiracy theory, if you want to talk about it that way. That's something else which we can get into later. Um, but what are my overall thoughts on this? I'm optimistic. I'll say it that way. I am now healthily optimistic. Um, I'm still concerned about the overall storyline. The Earth connection seems to be very, very strange to me. But you know what? Um, the director seems to know what he's doing. He Travis Knight has done some really great work with stuff, like I said, from the '80s before, Transformers and the like. So I am eager to see what's going on. The casting is interesting, as I mentioned in my previous videos. Um, Goatman, it's still gonna stick to me, right? But now we're seeing some additional casting for Fisto, for the Sorceress, and I'm going to take a deeper dive into that. As a matter of fact, later on this afternoon, I'm going to be going live with some wonderful friends. Obviously, Danny Green, my co-host on Titans Talking Toys, which I'll have linked in the description below, where you guys can take a look at our live stream. And we're going to be talking about pretty much everything Master Universe today. It's a great opportunity too. I mean, Mondo has just released Eva Lynn for their 1/6 scale line. 2000X Mondo for Master Universe is also on top of mind of everybody's list. Master Universe Cross Thundercats is very, very much on everybody's mind. And of course, I have a good friend coming onto the stream, Pedro Ribeiro from Portugal, who's going to be showing us some of his collection and some of the work that he's done with restoring vintage Master Universe toys. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Master Universe movie and these brand new photos, which have just been leaked. So, yeah, guys, join us at Titans Talking Toys this afternoon. I'll have a link in the description below where you guys can take a look at that. We'll be talking everything Master Universe today, I guess. And yeah, let us know what your opinions are of these brand new photos that have just been leaked, and what you think about the new casting, and to let me know the truth. What do you guys think about this movie, and if it's going to succeed, if it's going to fail, if it's even going to make it? Because again, we've come close to Master Universe films before, and still to this day, there really has been only one. And in my opinion, it still is the greatest Master Universe film because it's the only one. But at the same time, there were some big shoes to fill for some of those acting roles. Guys, let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are about this, new leak, because I have my doubts. I really do. I'm wondering if it's just a way for them to really get some people behind this. Let me know what's going on in your thoughts about the Master Universe and what should be happening for the media going forward, and as well as the new toys that are coming out from Mondo, from Mattel, and what the future holds for Master Universe. Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. Toy news continues, everybody, and it's a roller coaster right now. Everything's just going absolutely bonkers. As a matter of fact, speaking of the movie, I actually did a full review and my opinion on how a real Master Universe movie should actually look. And as a matter of fact, you can take a look at Daniel Benedict's version, and hopefully his Kickstarter will actually reboot itself, because this is the type of movie we need for Master Universe. And I think you should check out my opinion on that fan film of Master Universe right here. You can take a look at that. I'll see you guys there. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Master Universe, good journey. Geek proud, everybody.